You've enjoyed this on a level I don't think I've ever seen anyone enjoy Machine Head, and
really?
you've kind of made me appreciate Machine Head a little bit more. It is a pretty damn
I
good
just
song.
don't understand how a metalhead can hear this song and not love it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what side of the world you're in. I'm HalfLifeSistah, and this is my hubby Wolf Kane.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to my channel and to another episode of Sister and Wolf Reaction. This is a patron request by my sweet, loving Muttley.
What's going on, Mudley?
Hi, Sunshine. How are you? Hope you're doing well.
Thanks for the support.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, darling, for the continued love and support you've been giving us.
Machine Head.
Yes, Machine Head. I've heard about this band.
Might have played it on your stream once before.
I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, his last request was KXM.
Yeah, which is a very interesting, underrated band, I think, and didn't get a whole lot of views.
Well, I didn't even know they existed. I didn't realize King's X was doing other stuff, and
But
David Lynch from Dokken.
But you would think that the guy from Dokken, would because he's a popular person in that band, well known.
Yeah, but it's a completely different genre of music. I don't think
but
Dokken fans give a damn
that's
about what
like-
KXM is doing, I guess.
Yeah, but that's like if Floor started a side project. Wouldn't the people that support and love Floor want to?
I guess. And we do get the occasional, I've never heard these people before, and
Yes.
thanks for
Which is so cool. I love that.
introducing us. Igor got a couple of that in the reaction we just did, so. And that's kind of an out of the box
Indeed
band.
it is, baby. They stepped out of it.
Still got more love than KXM though.
I don't know why. Maybe because of the ending thing.
I blame your thumbnail.
Every time.
I blame your thumbnail.
That's what he does, the editing, and I do the thumbnails, right? It takes me a couple of hours to do one thumbnail, just an FYI. Okay, FYI.
I've been telling her to fix which thumbnail?
Paint yourself.
Uh-huh. But most of your thumbnails are great.
Thank you.
But that Pain of Salvation is...
It's a pain in your heart.
Obviously, we're joking. I don't understand why some bands get more love than others.
I know.
Yeah, so whatever. It's a free country. There's plenty of content out there, so I guess not everyone has time to watch every damn thing. Machine Head, here we go. Guys, I want to make these reactions short. I really do, but
I know.
I have a lot of crap I feel like I have to say. Okay, let me just clarify where my head is at, because here's my problem. Okay, we're doing Machine Head. Disciple requests Floods by Pantera. And of course, when I think Machine Head and then Pantera, I think Aesthetics of Hate. So now I want to play Aesthetics of Hate for her on top of the reaction we're doing. And I can't do Floods now without talking about the elephant in the room regarding Phil Anselmo and the whole racism thing. And then, of course, that brings me back to Machine Head and what Rob Flynn has said about Phil Anselmo and the back and forth that they've had. I can't do these reactions without talking about that. Honestly, I'm going to save all of that for the end of the reactions, but I have to do it.
Babe, it's okay.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get started with this reaction. We're just going to go ahead and do this because this is not related to any of that other nonsense. Once we do that, I'll play you Aesthetics of Hate. That's a positive thing. We'll do that and finish up the Machine Head reaction.
They requested positive?
I mean, it's about war.
Okay.
As positive as war
You mean
is.
so it's an uplifting song, basically? The one that
No, it's
not this one, the next one, you say?
It's a tribute to Dimebag, Aesthetics of Hate. We're going to throw that on Patreon, by the way, and I'll save the explanation for the Patreon version. But long story short, some idiot wrote negative things about Dimebag after he death, basically saying good riddance to trash.
Wow, why?
So that pissed off Rob because they did tour.
Oh my goodness.
He wrote a little song. He's not the most complicated wordsmith, so he's very direct in his lyrics and his in his delivery. So we'll do that on Patreon. But let's just go ahead for now and just deal with the song at hand, which is the Clenching the Fists of Dissent, which, like I said, is about war. Okay. Then we'll worry about all the other stuff. Again, trying to keep these as short as possible so that we can keep it moving.
So you kind of apologizing for the Ming Law?
I'm not apologizing. I am explaining why I can't make them short yet. Every once in a while, when I can do a short one, I will. I simply cannot ignore these things when I'm doing them. I have to talk about
He
them.
cares, okay? So, I think the majority of our followers, our fans, understand and respect that, and they don't have a problem with the band.
I care in the sense that I simply won't do this without doing that. Let's just put it that way. I care enough to say I'd rather just not do it at all if I can't sit here and talk and express my feelings and deal with these issues as well, because otherwise,
Right.
what's the point? Anyone can just listen to a damn song.
And I appreciate
It's
it
not
as
my,
well.
It's not what I'm interested in. But okay, in this case, we are just going to listen to this damn song. I'm sorry. Let's just go. Let's just go. Machine Head. You see, every time I want to start, something pops in my mind. To those who request, do not get offended if I am not crazy about a song or a band that
yeah.
you request. I have a very, very particular taste. I cannot do fake reactions or pretend to like a song just because you requested it.
Of course not.
And
ever.
I don't want you guys to get offended by that. If you like something, be confident in yourself that you like it for whatever reason you like it, and you know why you like it. Just because everyone has a different need out of music. I've said this before. I will make every effort to try to understand why someone else might enjoy it.
He's saying
Same
this.
applies to her, of course.
Of course. We don't do fake reactions here, contrary to what a few small percentage of you believe. There's nothing fake or rehearsed about our reactions. Most of them are going to not knowing anything, okay?
Not trying to make this long-winded, just coming to my head.
That's what we do.
And it's coming to my head again because Machine Head, I am not crazy about Machine Head. The only thing I'm going to say about Machine Head is I've never heard a song from Machine Head I didn't like,
Okay.
but I've never heard a song from Machine
That
Head
you loved.
that that's good. Loved.
Okay.
For
that's
some
okay.
reason, Machine Head doesn't land for me as far as, like, I hear what they're doing.
Okay.
They don't do anything bad. They're
Okay.
playing their instruments well. I'm not going to say any more because obviously you just listen for yourself and
Please and thank you.
you decide for yourself.
Okay.
But again, everyone has different tastes, and you should never get offended by my opinions or reactions. And they are growing.
Uh-huh.
There are
Elevating?
things that used to be hard nosed for me
Cringy. Yeah.
that I've opened up to, and I've started
girl.
to see a much wider picture for
Good.
myself.
That's awesome.
But there are still things that are going to always be hard nosed, and there's always going to be things that are going to be like, okay, cool, but yeah. Just take it for what it is, guys. Love us for who we are, and take us for all our faults and all our positives, and just enjoy the ride.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's go.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Give some room to move. This is sort of the best part of the song, though.
Oh my god! Okay. I'm sorry.
to turn you down in this.
Sorry. Wow. I love this so Wow, I can't believe this. Holy crap. Wow. I'm sorry. Kleenex. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, my God. Oh. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take a break, babe. I have to clean up. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Wow.
Okay.
I'm sweating my butt off.
I guess I really am just a cynical son of a bitch.
Oh my God. Are you so wow, babe? Hold on, okay? Just give me a second.
Can anyone say in the comments if they've ever reacted like that to a Machine Head song? Congrats, Rob Flynn. You did
my
it,
God.
dude. But don't get me wrong, this is one of their best. But like I said, I've never heard a bad Machine Head song. But for some reason, they've never stood out to me. But watching you react to it made the song sound better for some reason. Like, you made me feel like I was really actually missing out on something.
Oh my God, babe, you didn't hear it?
No, I heard it. There's definitely parts of that song that I absolutely love. Tell me what happened there.
Oh, baby. Ooh.
First of all, it's not a short song. It's a complex
I'm
composition.
My butt off.
Yes, you are.
Oh my God, cut that part out. I honestly don't know where to start.
Well, first of all, you had to take a break and clean your eyes up.
Yeah, I was looking a mess.
I was not expecting the song to make you cry. I was expecting you to rock out,
Wasn't
certainly.
either. Yeah, I was looking forward to that. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to one of my soldiers in the comments today, and they suggested a song for me to react to that won't make me cry. Because he's like, sister, I know what you need. You need to rock out. And I'm like, yeah, I need to rock out and stop crying over these songs.
So what happened?
Oh, baby, it was like sensory overload. Like, all the sounds.
Someone accused me in the comments of being cynical, and they're not wrong. But you've made me like this song more than I did before.
Really?
I don't know if you noticed, I was watching you most of the reaction.
I didn't notice it.
And as I'm watching your reaction, I'm listening to the song in particular. And I'm kind of noticing, I'm not saying this song is as good as The Punishment do.
Wow.
I'm not saying it's good as that, but I noticed that, no, the thing is, I noticed that it has that kind of insane intensity.
It does, babe. Yeah.
What's interesting about this and Holy Wars is Holy Wars was about war in the Middle East,
Okay.
right? And this is, I believe the song is about the war in Iraq because it starts out, if you notice, it starts out with kind of like a Middle Eastern kind of feel.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes into
Good job.
the drums, which typically represent the drums of war.
So good.
But the stuff that always, I guess, and I don't know why, there are certain bands that for some reason my brain picks up on patterns that somehow give me issues. Like I love Godsmack,
Okay.
but I have issues with them constantly saying I, we, me, you. For some reason, it sticks out to the point where it kind of starts to bother me after a while. So it's weird things that I think maybe might be personal things and patterns that our brains pick up. I don't know if everyone has this problem or if it's just me. Like I said, I like Rob. I think he's a great guy. And I've never disliked their music, but I've never would call myself like an official fan.
You don't feel that their music stand out enough for you?
Yeah, I guess. And I didn't start to like this song until I actually saw a fan video of a mashup of war footage to the background of the song. As I was watching the video footage of these guys kill themselves like animals, the song suddenly rang true to me.
Gotcha.
Like I started to realize that this is a song about war. And when they put the war footage to it, it really hit home. And I'm like, oh, this is actually a really good song.
It's really amazing, babe. It is.
But the funny thing is now when I watch you react to it, now I like it even more because I've heard even more things than I did before.
Wonderful, baby. That's wonderful.
And I'm like, okay, I mean, this is a really good song. It really is. Whether you like Machine Head or not, if you didn't like it on the first try, give it a few more listens. It gets better as you start to hear the nuances of the song. It is a pretty damn good song.
I just don't understand how a metalhead could hear this song and not love it.
Well,
But again,
that's what I was trying to explain
there's a lot
right
of music
now.
that I have
it's
not been
weird.
exposed to. So maybe as time goes on, I may feel the same way that you feel. I don't know. I just know what I'm hearing what it's making my body feel when I'm hearing it. And oh wow, babe, this is.
I really do want to like them because I like supporting people that are good people with good ideas. I think he's actually a very good musician. I think they all are. The band that he came from, Violence, which is an old school kind of thrash band, they were. I love the album that they came out with back in the day.
This is a thrash song, right? Like thrash mixed with a little bit
This is
death?
kind of more like maybe metalcore.
Oh no, not bass, not if
Or
I mean,
hardcore or new metal. It's kind of more like, because Machine Head has always been more of that kind of alternative metal.
Oh man, it sounds industrial.
It's kind of like alternative metal.
It sounds industrial. It sounds I'm probably not making any sense.
No, they throw some effects in there that make it seem industrial, but it's not industrial.
It's not? Okay. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful.
Could be a little overwhelming on the first listen. I could certainly see that.
It really was. I mean, I had so many different emotions. You know, the only emotion I didn't have was a feeling of sadness or sorrow. It was all great, fun, happy feelings that I had. And it was just like I was imploding. It was amazing. That song, everything about that song was just, it was beautifully placed. The instruments and everything was just so beautiful. It was perfect to me.
Well, good. I mean, that means they were all tears of enjoyment.
Yes, it was.
But the song itself is sorrow. The song itself is
I understand
the Iraq War,
which is what I'm saying. Like, I didn't feel that at all.
You know, some of the lyrics, you know, "Die for America," and blood is oil.
Wow.
It comes from a negative place in the sense that our soldiers are dying
Mm.
for essentially what is oil.
Mm.
Because the Iraq War and the initial underlying um, impetus of why we went to Iraq, and it was under the guise of terrorism, which
Which
in the song lyrics says was propaganda, but
exactly. Right.
ultimately it was the control of the oil fields that
Right. It's
that
amazing.
were the real purpose. And there's some good documentaries on that if you ever want to see them. That talks about when we were there in Iraq, we spent more times defending the oil fields than we did protecting the civilians.
People.
That lack of planning when it comes to basic post-Saddam governance stands in stark contrast to the level of planning that's already well underway for Iraq's oil sector.
There was a very strong sense of urgency. It was 12, 15-hour days from what I remember. I knew where every pipeline, where every refinery, gas plant, oil field, gas oil separation plant was. People have said we didn't plan very well for Iraq. I would take exception to that when it came to the oil sector.
We were spending more time thinking about how to deal with the oil fields in Iraq than we were about our own troops when we went to war in Iraq.
And there's plenty of evidence to support that. So, but
Just pulling out of our butts.
but this is where the community splits, right? Because you'll have people who are who consider that to be negative or
Negative towards
anti-America
our-
or anti-troops,
right,
and
country.
and the truth is the truth, whether it's negative or
Right.
positive. So
Right.
I always come from a place of what's true as opposed to what ideology or something I'm trying to defend. That's has no concern for me, and you'll see that in the Pantera reaction, because we've got a lot to address there afterwards. But for here,
Oh, goodness.
there's really nothing left to talk about.
And I
We've
can
talked
s-
about war before and stuff like that.
I'm
so
sorry, I
that's-
can't explain what I was feeling. But I enjoyed the reaction. I enjoyed the song immensely.
Well, you
Thank
did. In a way, you
Thank you.
were experiencing what you experienced with Holy Wars, which
Yeah,
is
it felt- it's
this
on that
tremendous level of kind of musicianship and composition that's very in your face.
Yes, yes.
Do I think this is better than Holy Wars? Not even close.
You don't have to compare,
but
though. It's not even about
I'll compare it.
that.
I'll
It's
say
not
it right now. This is
important.
not better than Holy Wars.
It's your
But
opinion.
this is one of
It's
Machine
your
Head's
opinion.
best. This is probably one of Machine Head's best songs that I've heard, anyway. But yeah. Honestly, I'm realizing I'm liking the song more the more I hear it. This is probably in my lifetime the 5th time I've heard the song, and every time I hear it, I am liking it more and
That's
more.
awesome.
So perhaps my issue with Machine Head is I have not given them the proper time and the proper amount of listen to. Maybe I haven't given them a chance. Maybe I wrote them off. Maybe I've heard some stuff in their earlier career which came off a bit too
Yes.
generic for me,
You wrote them off.
and maybe this Blackening album is a better album from them. So that's why we do this channel and these reactions, right?
Yes.
To have an open mind and to perhaps fix past mistakes or past assumptions. At least for me. For you, it's experiencing new stuff.
Yeah.
And
Awesome new stuff.
and guys like me who get to watch someone experience it for the first time and who aren't jaded, and you've enjoyed this on a level I don't think I've ever seen anyone enjoy Machine Head, and
Oh,
you've
really?
kind of made me appreciate Machine Head a little bit more, if I'm being
Thank
honest.
you. That makes me feel good.
So-
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Kudos for that.
That makes me happy, like it does.
All right,
It
well,
really does.
speaking of making people happy, let's make our patrons happy.
Okay.
I want to do Aesthetics of Hate. We'll try to keep this short and quick, so we'll say goodbye on this video, and then we'll go and do Aesthetics of Hate. That'll be on our Patreon. If you ever want to watch that fan-made video that helped me realize the power of this song, that's something I'd like to do. It's gonna have to be a Patreon exclusive because it's ultra violent. It's ultra violent.
Oh, wow,
It's
okay.
one of Mel Gibson's movies. Hacksaw Ridge is in it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And if anyone knows Mel Gibson and
He
his
is
movies,
brilliant.
the man.
He's hardcore.
Okay, he's brilliant, but he loves his violence.
Yes, he does.
Oh my goodness.
He does. He does it so well, though.
It works for
In
the
a
story,
realistic way.
so it does seem to make sense in the sense that the violence, the glorification of the violence, pushes the story forward and helps push the realness of the story, but it is really over the top. I was surprised. I didn't see Hacksaw Ridge when I saw the video, so I saw Fury. He mixed it with Fury, Schindler's List, and Hacksaw Ridge.
Schindler's List.
Yeah, was it Schindler's
That's
List?
too much.
No, not Schindler's List. I'm sorry. Saving Private Ryan. Saving
Oh,
Private
God.
Ryan. Like that's any better, right?
Right.
Saving Private Ryan, Fury,
better.
and Hacksaw Ridge. So there were the two movies I recognized, and then there was these ultraviolet scenes. Like my jaw was on the ground. I'm like, where the hell is this
I
from?
want to see it.
And then I look it up, and it's Hacksaw Ridge. And if you know Hacksaw Ridge is a movie that's supposed to be about a guy who goes to war but refuses to be violent, refuses to kill anyone.
That sounds familiar. Like, I'm sure you've shared that with
No,
me.
I thought it was going to be a cheesy movie. And then I'm looking at these scenes, and they're like some of the most violent war footage I've ever seen. And I'm like, this came from that movie? What the hell is wrong with you, Mel?
Ah, my nipples, they hurt! They hurt when I twist them!
But okay, so, and again, I think what Mel was doing was portraying ultra violence so it shows just how the contrast between this one man, supposed to be a true story, by the way, this one man who didn't want to kill anyone, and he ended up saving a lot of lives, from what I understand.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
And the violence of war, which is horrendous. And I think people need to really appreciate how horrendous it is. And that's when this is why this kind of ultraviolence to me is okay. A human being needs to understand how effing ultra-violent, disgusting, and horrendous war is.
Really is.
I want it to permeate my brain, but I want it to permeate everyone's brains that war is freaking... I'm so tired of
Squeezing my leg.
Sorry. One thing that makes me so angry is like these young kids who go to war with this idea
Yeah.
of bullshit, and then when they go to war, they
get messed
either
up.
die immediately or become changed or destroyed as human beings because they didn't expect what it was. And that's because they're lied to and brainwashed. And that's part of the propaganda and shit that we're talking about. That stuff makes me so angry. Anyone who comes to me saying they want to go to the army, I knock them upside the head because it's so effing dumb. There are no
Yes.
armies, nobody can fight.
No one can fight.
I know that's stupid
I know it
ideological
sounds so,
bullshit. And all these leaders and stuff who are so quick to put people in a war, they're the assholes who need to just go ahead and fight it out.
Exactly.
Okay, fuck them. Fight wars for leaders who do not ever see combat. That's complete bullshit.
It is.
But I'm sorry. Was that considered a rant?
Yes, babe.
I try not to rant on this channel.
He rants every reaction.
I started
Just
ranting
FYI.
early on, and I realized that sometimes that can be a little much. I didn't pause. I apologize for the rant. Let's say goodbye.
All right.
I'm not gonna rant. I apologize. I already did.
There.
I failed.
There. Okay, you've said enough. Well,
There's so much more I'd like to say.
I hope you guys, Muttley, thank you so very much, my love.
Yes, thank you,
You're
Mother.
so wonderful, babe. I want more. Machine Head. If you all enjoyed this reaction video, please, hold on. Yeah. Give us a thumbs up. Comment below. Do not leave without subscribing, but also do share our content as well.
Usa.
On that note,
And as always,
keep it metal forever, baby. No matter what. Like, really, though, this